Great to have you with us for a hockey twin killing today. The Gophers and the Beavers go at it around 4 o'clock. Minnesota and Bemidji State. The last champions of this tournament. The Gophers won it a couple of times. Bemidji State just shut down everybody last year. A very impressive performance. And this is cleared up and out of the way. 25 seconds into the second period.
And what a period it was for the Mavericks. 17 shots on goal in that first period. You have to think Mike Hastings just preached continue, guys. Continue to play with this pace. But you have to reel in the discipline. Outside of that, really enjoyed the passing of the Mavericks. Connecting through the neutral zone on multiple occasions. If anything, I'd say they're passing almost too much.
St. Cloud State with a shot sailing in and blocked off Nicholas Nevalainen. And now out comes Minnesota State. 2-2 game. Piling into the corner. St. Cloud State Huskies, Lizotte put it low, centering for Asimont. Nothing doing there. And the Huskies will pull it back out and have a partially blocked jab coming down low off Max Cota.
Went down and heap of pain right there as he put himself in a difficult position. We'll have to see if he's okay. Goes for a quick change right away.
The hitting picking up right away here in the second period of this game. An interesting non-conference respite for all four of these teams. A slow motion hit and turnaround there, but the puck still winds up in St. Cloud State ice. And a drive around the defense was essayed. Nothing happening though for Cota. And a wave that comes back into the St. Cloud State zone again. Huskies jab it free. But look out, here come the Mavericks. Attacking low is Michael Huntebrinker. Out of the corner, a whack at it by Peterson. Trickles to the line. Kept alive by Minnesota State. A running backhander is put down and carried out now by St. Cloud State. Morgan jams it down and rings it around the boards. Parked down behind the net by Pulaski. And his defensemen go D to D, but do they go out? Yes, they do. Jab down low by the Mavericks' Jimmy Mullen. They contest along the end boards. A bouncing puck with no clear control. 2.5 minutes into this second period. It's a 2-2 game. All scoring in the first. Whoops, and this one pops away. Here comes a chance to Benson. Taken low, stood up. Sean Flanagan caught up with him and stood him right up and off. And here's Flanagan behind his own net.
Benson a little unfortunate to have that puck behind him. Almost had to slow up to continue his partial breakaway there. And a nice job by Flanagan here, as you'll see. Benson had to just delay there for a second so it would not get him in the feet. And Flanagan leads with his stick there and just it's a nice job defensively. And St. Cloud needs to protect the puck a little bit more. They're allowing the Mavericks the opportunity to cycle offensively, a couple of blue line turnovers. You have to make sure that when you get that puck, it gets by the defense of the Mavericks.
16-6 Minnesota State in shots early in the second period. David Morley standing in, wins the draw, pounded home, turned away by Pulaski, and the puck stays alive in the Minnesota State zone. A whack at it by Gervais, but he didn't get very much on it. Puck dances free. Filched now by the Huskies, or by the Mavericks rather, and turned back out by Knutson. And now it's St. Cloud State on the run. Joey Rennick driving low. Rennick taken down to the left wing boards on a check by Casey Nelson. Rennick getting up rather slowly from the corner ice. And Minnesota State carries it away. Casey Nelson, plus 27 in his 3-year collegiate career. Casey Nelson got it low, but out it comes banking away for Joey Bennick, the NCAA Division I Star of the Week last week. Mavericks now will carry it back. Punched in at the line by Brad McClure. Turned back by St. Cloud and filched down there by Brickley. Brickley and Casey Nelson fire it back down deep into St. Cloud's zone. Both teams playing rather gingerly here in early second period, having carved out a 2-2 draw so far. By the way, in case it becomes necessary to know it, it's off the side of the net. We'll go to 5 minutes of overtime, followed by a shootout in the first 3 games of this tournament. And if the championship game, that'll be with no intermission, of course. If the championship game needs overtime, then they'll go a full 20-minute intermission, or full intermission, and then the 20 minutes of overtime. We'll file that away in case it should be needed, and it very well might be. As tight as the competition is here at the North Star College Cup. On a Brinker, pestered over in the corner. And wandered away, and Carter Foguth took it back.
This period very much akin to a first period. Much more feeling out going on in this one.
Nelson and Foguth, the D, and what a dandy pair they are. Got it loose, a sweep check, a swing, nothing doing. A whack at it at point blank, didn't go for Gervais. And at the line, it's going to be jabbed back low again. Minnesota State now cranks up the pressure a little bit. St. Cloud trying to clear, but it's outlet picked off by Daniel Brickley.
That's exactly what I was talking about with the Huskies. When you have that puck on the blue, you gotta clear it.
Loose puck, danger moment, pulled away by St. Cloud State, and out come the Huskies. Brian Papa driving into enemy territory. Slams it over on the stick. This is Murray. Right in front through the lip of the goal crease. Knutson was parked there with a swarm of black and white clad Minnesota State Mavericks around him. And out come the Mavs now. Jimmy Mullen slams one on. The save by Lindgren turns it away. Again for Mullen, and again a save by Lindgren. And this time Charlie Lindgren, the junior NCHC All-Tournament player last year, slams the door.
Pucker up, it's kiss cam time.
Riding along at a 2-2 tie in the second period here at the St. Paul downtown hockey headquarters of the Minnesota Wild, state tournaments and so on. Remember that coming right up, it's the 10th annual Hockey Day Minnesota next Saturday. You can gear up with exclusive Hockey Day Minnesota apparel. On sale now at all Hockey Lodge locations or order online at stateofhockeystore.com. Great to have you with us on Fox Sports North this afternoon. The first of 2 games. Minnesota and Bemidji State coming along next. And the face-off is coming in the St. Cloud State zone. Teddy Bluger had a chop at it for Minnesota State. Ethan Prow, the captain of the St. Cloud State Huskies, turned it back. And Prow again took a shot as he fired the puck away. And at neutral ice, Robbie Jackson. Here's that good fourth line for St. Cloud State. A swing and a miss on a rising puck by Benson. Knutson driving down. Watched by Schultz as he goes low. Puck swings to the hash marks, but the Huskies turn it back out again. Now St. Cloud State's Benson whistles a drive that's smoked high and all the way to the corner.
Yeah, Kopolowski deep in his crease there, had to try to react real late as he couldn't catch it through traffic.
Marganeri fired it low. Now sailing in low, C.J. Franklin. Franklin wheels and deals, and it's blocked off the man checking him, David Morley. And as this pops away to the low goes, here comes Morley. It came on his stick rather unexpectedly, and he drives one right on. It's turned away by Pulaski. Tempo picking up a little bit here as the second period motors along. Still 2-2. It's 3-on-1 for St. Cloud State, and the pass misfired for Patrick Newell.
What a grand opportunity there, and overpassing continues.
Newell was open and ready, and the pass missed him. Lazat ratcheted out of the corner now by Minnesota State. Everybody jumps in. Puck squirts free. A chance now to Nevalainen. Up to the line he goes. Lazat fires, no. Pulled out of the corner by Joey Bennick. Here at the point is Nevalainen shooting again. And McClure will turn it, but the Huskies can not let it go. They're going to keep up the pressure. But a spinning puck from Michael Huntebrinker. Here's Huntebrinker. Swinging back. Huntebrinker waiting for a line change behind him. Whitman for St. Cloud State. Away to center. Asimont. Nothing doing there.
Another neutral zone turnover there for the Huskies. And for the top line, too, you'd expect those players to hold on to it and covet those offensive opportunities. But they're going to play defense because of that turnover.
Chandler Medry, number 13. Medry there with a shot turned away. Setting up with Brad McClure down low, and this puck sails back across neutral ice over too many lines, and a face-off is coming in the St. Cloud zone.
Well, the Mavericks a little bit congested in their own zone, and the Huskies find a little tip pass there as you see Joey Bennick try to direct that one by Pulowski, and deep on his goal crease much of this period. He's going to have to come out, challenge a little bit. Only faced 9 shots so far in this one. On the other side, Charlie Lindgren's been just under siege, something he hasn't been very often this season.
Jason Pulowski, the freshman, Omaha product. Goaltender for the Minnesota State Mavericks. At the moment, though, he'll have to dig in as the puck is being contested in the neutral zone. Turned out by Murray. And as that squirts low, we're going to have a penalty. Peterson shaking his hand as he goes over there to his own bench and going at a very slow rate of speed. Brett Knowles.
And that successful power play of the Huskies is going to have another opportunity because of this right here. There's chaos, and watch the whack you're going to get right there. Would have expected it to be a little bit greater than that, but it is what it is at this point, and you can see the dumbfounded look of the always entertaining Mike Hastings not agreeing with that one. If he sees the replay, it's only going to cause further heartburn.
Just don't. But out of chaos comes opportunity, and here's an opportunity for a power play for St. Cloud State, the third of the afternoon. But they'll have to chase it back in their own zone, and Charlie Lindgren dances out after it.
Charlie Lindgren not paying attention to the trapezoid. He could care less, but sometime in his future is going to have to be concerned. Plays the puck quite well.
Yep. Only matters at the pro levels. Here's a shot and a score! It's a power play goal for St. Cloud State. I think Isamont is going to get it. It'll make a 3-2 lead. It only took him 23 seconds on that power play to pop it in. Mikey Isamont makes it 3-2 Huskies.
Well, another line rush that the St. Cloud State Huskies decide, well, we're pretty good at this thing. We're going to just score on the rush. They're not going to set up, and they have a couple of players at different depths, and that's what causes the problem for the Mavericks. Unable to pick up a player as the net front presence drove the defenseman back in. Mikey Isamont, his second of the game, third point of the game, is able to pick up an assist as well. And the night of Jason Pulowski just got shorter. Now we have Cole Huggins in. Talked about his success he's had in seasons past. He's going to have to come into the fire now.
Cole Huggins carried the mail a lot last year for Minnesota State. He comes in now after Isamont's power play goal, makes it 3-2 for St. Cloud State. 9:15 was the time of that goal. Isamont with 2 power play markers now, and the nation's number 3 power play continues to pop him in here. Successful twice in 3 tries this afternoon. And again, it is Cole Huggins A 2.36 goals against average, 907 saves percent. In the twine now for Minnesota State. Huggins, a junior from Centennial, Colorado. Played in the British Columbia Hockey League. Last weekend against Lake Superior State, it was a sweep, and he did it for both of them. Reigning WCHA Defensive Player of the Week is Cole Huggins. His 30 wins, number 9 on Minnesota State's all-time list. So the script starts over for him. There's a shot and a goal. And now there's one on behind Huggins. Jacob Benson lights it up for St. Cloud State, and the Huskies take a 2-goal lead.
Well, a potent offense. We knew it was going to be on display, but early on it was the Mavericks getting it going. They turned this puck over, and the number 2 offense in the country. Gosh, great passes right there. Well-placed shot. And the fourth line gets it done right here. Tough arena to walk into if you're Cole Huggins. Cold off the bench. Pulowski has the clipboard in hand. The St. Cloud State Huskies have this game firmly in their control right now with the momentum going their direction.
And now timeout is going to be called to settle things down here as Jacob Benson makes it 4-2 in favor of the Huskies.
Fans amid the top section, 110 with 2 lucky contestants in today's game of Operation presented by TRIA. We have Abby representing the Mavericks and Taylor representing the Huskies. Each of our contestants will begin at the same time, and they'll have 30 seconds to remove as many bones as possible without the buzzer sounding. If the buzzer sounds, an air horn will go off. The winner is going to receive an awesome TRIA prize pack. Are you ready? Go!
Been 2 goals 53 seconds apart for those St. Cloud State Huskies. A true moment of danger here for Minnesota State. On the one hand, a lot of this game still to go, but it was very tight and it could get away from them here.
Well, it could get away from my favorite adjective to describe players in teams that play with resilience, players that exhibit resiliency. The Huskies will certainly putting that to the test right now. The Mavericks going to have to maintain some patience right now.
A great play, a backhand shot. It comes right back to the guy who made the great play, Joey Bannock.
Foguth with an excellent stick right there as the Huskies try to go tic-tac-toe again. Huskies, you just feel the momentum and the confidence that they're playing with that they didn't have early in the first period. They can almost just sense the blood in the water here.
Now the puck alive deep in the St. Cloud State zone. Minnesota State trying to penetrate. If you just joined us, it was 3-2 after the third St. Cloud State goal. Mike Hastings decided to pull his starter, Jason Pulowski, and put Cole Huggins in the net. And Huggins had been in all of 53 seconds when Jacob Benson drilled a low shot into the back of the net, and that made it a 2-goal game.
Well, a quick turnover in front of Cole Huggins, and likely didn't want to explode off that goal line, and being deep at his net was exposed to a wicked shot there. And Jacob Benson, it's the Huskies a further marker.
Contested at the St. Cloud State line, and now it flies low. Will Borgen is there. No clear control, tapped ahead by Kalle Kosela. And the loose puck tracked down by John Utsi.
Nice hit there by Foguth as he just hammers Asimont on the red line.
Utsi, the defenseman, number 28, actually leads the Mavericks in power play goals. They have 17 of them coming in there as of now because Stepan scored one earlier, but he hasn't scored yet today. And now they dig for the puck. Mullen at the line for Minnesota State. Popped ahead by Foguth. And Carter Foguth's pass goes glancing deep into St. Cloud State ice. They let it go for a change. And icing is called on Minnesota State. 7:59 left in the second period. It's now 4-2 St. Cloud State over Minnesota State.
And look at this hit right here, and that's the one we were talking about. The captain, Foguth, steps up and catches Acemont looking backwards for that pass and trying to get a little bit of momentum, get his troops going. Right now, not a lot to feel positive about, but they are leading shots, hits, scoreboard, not the case, but zone time, puck possession as well. A lot of good things if you're wearing black and purple out there, but tighten up a little bit defensively. Put your goaltenders in some precarious situations, largely predicated off some turnovers.
How many times have you seen a situation like that where a guy goes out and blows somebody up and all of a sudden the momentum of the game changes?
Well, they're certainly going to need it, and it was something they had early in the game. They scored first. The puck movement through the zone. I mean, what a pass Max Cota had, splitting his teammate Margineri in on that breakaway, but haven't seen much of that this period.
Speaking of Cota, the Mavericks are 13-3-5 when he plays this year. So they're hoping maybe that stat will hold true.
Well, such a worker bee. I enjoy the way he plays. He plays the game honest, plays it hard, and I think that some of that's contagious, regardless of a freshman, a senior, whatever it may be. When you start to create a style of play, it forces others to get on board.
And a coach knows what's on his bench, particularly by this time of the year. You know who you want out on that next shift when you need something to go on. Now in the St. Cloud State zone, the Huskies pick it up and start back away. Lazat. A bounder down to the corner for Ryan Papa. Mavericks there, angle it free and come out 2-on-3 through neutral. 3-on-3, 4-on-3. Now they go for a line change. And the puck dances away. Jacob Benson on the run. A long ranger comes in. It's broken up. No clear control. Benson, number 17. Ever dangerous there. Now it's Benson out of the corner. Throws it behind the net, but he can't connect. And has it back again in the left corner. Benson and Winicki are down there. Schultz driving, tried to fire it over to Benson, but no. Winicki, number 42, at a piece. Benson there. Here's a drive right off the cruising left Cole Huggins, and it's carried back by the Mavericks. Second period motoring along. The second semifinal game today will be around 4 o'clock between Bemidji State and Minnesota. Bemidji State won this tournament last year on as stifling a team defense as you want to see. And Minnesota won it early. And nobody else has won it in its short history. Here's a winding drive, blocked in traffic on the way in to Lindgren, but he had a view anyway and swung up that arm to make the stop.
Well, Charlie Lindgren, the busy goaltender in the first period, not so much this particular period. Only 3 shots thus far, 15 minutes into this period, but he's had to maintain his sharpness, and a good thing for goaltenders, if you have an opportunity to play that puck, that's one way to get involved with it. He plays the puck magnificently, but his team has really picked up its defensive play, and I think the transition is really what you see as a result of that, and then that ultimately leads to some great scoring opportunities.
Puck loose in the St. Cloud State zone, picked up by Will Morgan. Angled through traffic. Racing low comes Casey Nelson. Helped by Dan Brickley for Minnesota State Mankato, and the Mavericks swing it away. A dangerous puck, and a stick discarded. This one dances around, no clear control. A point blank wheel and a drive by Mullen. And now everybody piles on along the end boards as Pulaski had control of the puck.
I believe it was Chandler Madry right there that ultimately gives Charlie Lindgren a little bit of a buzz as he'll crash the net right here and make contact with the star goaltender. And the Huskies come to his defense. We'll have to see if the officials are going to do anything. Doesn't appear so. Lindgren no worse for the wear. Madry trying to get his team going. much like his captain Fogu, but you have to make sure it's a fine line here, especially when you're playing a team like St. Cloud. You can't give them another opportunity in the power play. If you do, you have to almost figure you're spotting them a goal with how well that power play is playing so far tonight.
Nothing more dangerous could be done. Now the face-off at St. Cloud State ice. C.J. Franklin, or rather it's Foguth. Carter Foguth standing in for Minnesota State for the draw against Kalle Kosela. Kosela turned, protected the puck with his body, and then kept it alive with a kick. As this trickles back into Minnesota State zone, it is Yutzi to turn it out for the Mavericks. A long angle comes free at neutral ice. Tipped over the line by McClure, and they scrum along the boards. It pops back to the line. Here goes Yutzi, a drive, and he scores! Big traffic down there in front of Lindgren. Yutzi pulled the trigger, and McClure was standing right there on the lip of the goal crease to light it up. And here we go again. Minnesota State comes roaring back, and it's a one-goal game.
A great deflection. You talked about Yutzi getting this puck off quick. Watch as it heads out to the defenseman. He's going to let a little senile wrister go, and I believe it's McClure. Just gets a piece of that one. You see him in the high slot. Maybe it is Steffen down on the goal line, or possibly both, but you can see Charlie Lindgren unable to track that one. He's got players on multiple levels in front of him.
The goal is under review at any event.
Based off that initial view, I would say that the goal will stand. The officials likely trying to see if that puck was touched above the crossbar. Watch Yutzi right here, just lean into that one. And
now Stepan was in there with his stick about up at the letters.
Great hand-eye coordination right there. It appears they might have both got a little piece of that one. Take a look at C.J. Franklin, who's been good tonight on the power play, had a couple of deft passes.
Goal counts. It's Brad Stepan's marker at 15:19 of the second period, and now it's a 4-3 St. Cloud State lead.
Similar to the first period, but in reverse. As soon as you think one team's going to start to really take advantage, the other team bounces back. Good timing of a timeout to rally his troops by Mike Hastings.
They are giving the goal to Stepan. Or to McClure, rather. So Ben was right, it was McClure.
Right you are, Doug, right you are.
Yeah. Right I am about you being right, I gotta love it. You had to do it. Brad McClure scores his third goal of the year, and Minnesota State pulls back to one goal. It's McClure from Yutzi and Franklin. That's how they're going to put it.
And Yutzi, just that little wrist shot, very similar to what Michael Brodzinski did last weekend against the Wisconsin Badgers. Netted that first hat trick for defenseman in Big Ten play.
4-3 St. Cloud State here as the puck comes sailing down into Minnesota State Maverick ice. And they'll put it back in their own zone where Carter Foguth will play it away. Going back to the line, broken up temporarily. Benson's there. Huskies can't get out of their zone though. Tightening up that forecheck, Minnesota State. A couple players, now three. We're going right on the blue paint area. Says something about the kinds of goals that have been scored here so far this afternoon, that through the first six, there were no reviews. Now this one swings down low. Minnesota State's Chandler Madry is there. In and out of the trapezoid. Huskies trying to get it out of their zone, but the Mavs keep it alive, and a long drive by Brickley is blocked. Picked off, kept in. There's a drive by Hunterbrinker, and it's turned away. Lindgren had a view of that one. A big wind and a drive by Bryce Gervais.
And again, the Mavericks players all over that crease area. Charlie Lindgren not necessarily able to get out as far as he would have liked to challenge that particular shot.
This is icing on St. Cloud State with 2:32 to go in the second period. Huskies leading the Minnesota State Mavericks 4-3, but this game is wide open at this point. Again, we've had the second goalie of the game in now for Minnesota State. Jason Pulaski replaced by Cole Huggins after a power play goal just after the 9-minute mark of this period. And Stepan Margineri and McClure have all lit it up for Minnesota State, and thus a 4-3 score. 2 by Asimont, Mikey Asimont for St. Cloud State. Benson and Russell have the other Husky goal. Through the neutral zone. Bennett fired it low, race to the corner. Patrick Newell, 14 for St. Cloud State, stapled up against the glass by Utsi. Peeled out of there now by Morley. And a running try that is blocked and sailed way up high and wide from Jimmy Schultz. Schultz, number 28, a dangerous player, or 22 rather. Former defenseman of the year in the Omaha Lancers of the U.S. Hockey League. Oh, I'm sorry I even started on that one. Now the puck sails down low in Minnesota State ice. Turned back out by Brickley. Here in the center. Jabbed the other way now by Prow. Picked off in the neutral zone. Away comes Cota. And Cota's drive is turned away on the way to the blue paint.
A nice job there by Max Cota, dropping that puck and then assuming center drive. If the Mavericks would have been able to get that puck on the net, he would have been the first one to any possible rebound.
Russell swings it over the line for St. Cloud State. Into the corner comes Kalle Kosala, but it's turned back out in the last minute of play of the second period. A little jink and Casey Nelson flings it low. Banging on the end boards is Dylan Margineri, number 26. He's on the ice now. They jab low at it. Puck dancing around under there somewhere. And St. Cloud with a little sand wedge gets it high and away. Kosala swats the puck low. And Carter Foguth down for Minnesota State. Puck swings up the wall. Out come the Mavericks. Driving the line. A centering pass. Caught, carried, dropped. A little last minute try at it by Margineri, but no. It was taking a wicked kind of a bounce, and he wasn't quite ready for it anyway when it got to him, but he made the best of it. 15 seconds to go in the second period. Carter Foguth bounds it low. It rolls up the wing boards. And we're going to have a penalty here. Borgen's going to go for St. Cloud State. And with 9.5 seconds remaining in the second period, it's going to be a power play for Minnesota State. Well, coming up in the second intermission, Ben visits with Mikey Asimont. And we'll bring you stats and highlights through the first 2 periods of play. Will there be another power play goal or not? Won't run for very long, whatever happens, with 9.5 to go.
Well, on that last shift in particular, I was watching Teddy Bluger, their leading goal scorer, a player who hasn't been able to have the puck very often tonight. St. Cloud State has checked him nicely tonight, but Will Borgen, a player who checked him a little bit too good and ended up taking a penalty against the senior star.
Well, now we're going to have offsetting penalties. Borgen and John Utsi are both going to sit.
Utsi may have came in to defend his teammate. Tough break there. Certainly Mike Hastings not believing that that is apples to apples based on Will Borgen took a pretty nice swipe at Teddy Bluger's jugular.
Four penalties, 6 minutes now on the Mavericks. 3 penalties, 6 minutes. 4 penalties, 8 minutes on the Mavericks. 3 for 6 on the Huskies. Holding on Utsi, and it's roughing on Borgen. That all settled down.
You have to figure a 4-on-4 term of 2 minutes is going to favor the Huskies. The players are having more players that just play with great speed. Joy Bennick's out there right now. Play with some patience. A player who we haven't talked about much, Ethan Prow, their defenseman, really under the radar until this year. This year getting heralded, being talked about, the Hobie Baker conversation. But you always have to figure if there's 2 players on the same team that are up for it, it really detracts from both of their opportunities. I hope that Charlie Lindgren gets credit where credit is due because he's just been so good. Not to take away what the senior defenseman has done, but I have to give my personal nod. I'm going with the goaltender.
Hastings still going over there. The referee in front of the bench.
Mike Hastings just faced with his opinion on that one, and I don't think he's going to get the ultimate call that he likes, but
they're going to review it.
Reviewing.
Doing something anyway. Well, we'll see. And upon further review, Utsi is out of the penalty box. So they're going to apparently wash out the penalty to Utsi, and they're going to add Robbie Jackson. Jackson, they have the innocent party in the penalty box.
So Bluger joins in the penalty box, and it was Bluger and Will Borgen who were in that confrontational battle. Bluger more or less 2 minutes for getting punched in the head. Will Borgen 2 minutes for punching in the head. Nonetheless, 4-on-4 play will round the second period out.
Puncher and Punchy pops up and nearly drops down behind the St. Cloud State goaltender Lindgren, but that's the end of that. No damage is done.